Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Just bam, bam, bam. They all going down just like that, just trying out the new automatic mode on this carbine. Oh, this baby runs like a mother, like it's... Oh, I just gotta calm myself. I can't go to Aisha like this. Whew, all right, that was good. That wasn't a fight, really. It was more of a massacre. But those kids were going out with knives drawn, killing. They were gonna kill their mothers and fathers. At least that's what he said. Not like we did was wrong, These were mad folks. But what would she think? I already told her I had a bit of a bloodlust. But she just didn't get what I meant. And I didn't want to say more. If she knew what I'd done here, well, she probably knows that me and Carlo, we do all kinds of dirty stuff just because it needs doing. So why am I even thinking about this? Come on, she's just important. And I think I like that. This is Red Moon Roleplaying.
Coriolis Cycles 63. Segment of the Deckhand.
Sahib, welcome to Odacon.
During your journey through the Quadrant of the Pillars, you narrowly dodged several ambushes by Corsairs, on the lookout for easy prey moving through Ordana and Zao. According to the Red Spider, these are funded by the Hegemony in an attempt at blackmailing the Consortium to give up control of the Hamura system. But if that's true or not, is anyone's guess. With Iwas under blockade by the Order, this route is now the only way into the Mirren chain, and traffic has increased significantly as a result. Lots of juicy prey for the Corsairs as a result. 160 cycles ago, the Gardens of Odacon were known throughout the horizon. Now, it's burned planets and a vast ash belt. The planet Rusa perhaps being the most well-known of the planets lost. Legends, only whispered in hushed tones, say that the Nazarene sacrifice had their fortress there. They say that it was destroyed at the end of the Portal Wars by a concentrated wind of stellar fire that swept through the system and ignited Rusa's very atmosphere. The planet burned for 9 segments, one for each of the judgments of the icons on the souls of the Nazarene. The Ash Belt, meanwhile, consists of the remnants of Matush, the 4th planet that was destroyed during the wars, and the pulverized wrecks of enormous armadas. So the system is a prime hunting ground for Corsairs and other horrors that lurk in the darkness. Somewhere out there in the Ashes is supposedly an entity known as the Bane of Ashes, said to be capable of breaking ships down molecule by molecule. The intel that you received from Corel was partial, but your mission is clear. Somewhere in the Ash Belt here in Odacon, the horrors of the Portal Wars have come back to life in the form of an artifact. A weapon forged as a dying civilization's final desperate attempt to ward off the enemy armadas. A weapon beyond anything previously seen in the Third Horizon. That is what was reported by the 2 survivors of the ship, the Dream Horizon, that were found adrift in the Ash Belt a few weeks ago. Yusef, the stevedore, and Anna, the deckhand. During their feverish ramblings, they both spoke of a terrible weapon and the warped battleship, Ab-Fasid. The duo was recently awoken from their medical comas, alive, but suffering from something resembling hypersickness. Black spots and patches of warped skin covered their bodies. These survivors, Corel told you, will have the location of this artifact. And that will give you an opportunity to either secure it for the Hegemony, or at the very least prevent it from falling into the hands of the Nazarene, the Order, or perhaps even the Consortium. The survivors are being taken care of on Masahir Station. It's the home of the scavengers who brave the dangers of the Ash Belt, looking for valuable salvage. You need to head in to this Ash Belt. But before that, well, here you are, on the Red Moon, having just exited the portal station in Odacon, with the burned planet of Rusa somewhere down below, remnants of Matouche, and then this ash belt in front of you. Maybe we start with Pig. Where do we find you now that you have exited the portal and you've perhaps done the basic preparations that you always do when you leave stasis?
Yeah, so the first thing I do is always gonna be going over the engines, checking that everything is alright with the ship, that the jumps have been alright. But this time, it's weird. My first thoughts would be that, yeah, feels a lot better going through the dangerous places of Zhao and Odacon than being down by where we were last time. I mean, I know this is supposed to be the old bases of, well, on blown out planets mostly, of the Nazarene sacrifice. So, we're probably gonna find something here, but it still makes me slightly less jittery being in the Miran chain than the Dabaran circle at this time, considering the things that happened down there. Yeah, I'll go out and kind of just scanning anything I can find, checking for any kind of anomalies for the jump and such, as I'm taking the boy with me to make sure that he sees everything too.
Yes, and he looks at it with big eyes. It is quite a sight to behold, the remnants of the gardens of Odacon. Carlo, where do we find you as you've exited stasis?
Well, naturally I'm on the bridge, trying to sort out what exactly we're doing here. I'm highly skeptical of the whole thing. It seems to me deeply suspicious that a powerful relic has suddenly been found now. Why not hundreds of cycles ago? Why here? The only witnesses we have are two survivors. What were they even doing in this part of space again?
Well, they were scavengers. They were on the lookout for just such a thing.
And is there anything in their reports that actually gives evidence to their claim that they found a powerful relic? What about their report actually rings true for, I suppose, my superiors?
Well, the report was clear on what they had found, and that it was supposedly an incredibly powerful weapon, and more than that, what seems to have happened is that most of the crew ended up being killed, probably as a result of the power of that weapon. Coming back with these black spots, it seems to be leveraging, well, whatever it is, it seems to be leveraging the same kinds of powers that you saw utilized in some of the tech that you've been recently encountering.
I suppose that's something.
But more than that, perhaps most important of all, is that the other factions are making a play for it as well. It's one of those things, right? Where if you see that your enemy is taking action on something, even if you are not 100% sure that it is completely true, the fact that they're acting on it means that there's something to be gained from trying to stop them from getting it. Because what if they're right?
That's also all true. In that case, I'm running system scans. Do I believe we've been followed in any way? Are any of the other factions anywhere near where we are right now? Any ships with strange identifiers? Anything like that?
We're the only ship that exited, but just as you think that, a Legion cruiser exits the portal field shortly after you. It's registered as the Abtihash. I wonder what that is all about.
That's not good. Remind me the current status between the Hegemony and the Legion. Are we on the same side or not at this point in time?
Well, the Legion is still very much in the employ of the Consortium and is acting as their enforcers to a large extent. So yes, they're working with the Zenithians. There was, of course, this incident that you were part of in Uharu with these Legionnaires who turned out to be with the Nazarene sacrifice, and there was, well, from you, some doubt whether or not the Legion truly can be trusted, because How could it be that the Legion happened to assign these particular legionnaires that were both traitors? There was something that was off about that. But aside from that, everything is going on as it always has, with the Legion doing what it's told. So perhaps it was just the two of them. It's unclear. What do you think?
I think it's a bad sign, and I'm not happy about it. I'm going to try and do everything I can on the ship to mask its systems, mark traces of the ship so that we're difficult to find. I know a few tricks. Anything I can do to make sure it's difficult for them to, for example, scan the system and find us here immediately?
Yes, it certainly is. And you have been given quite a lot of tech from the hegemony to be able to keep your ship as stealthy as possible. Resources, especially money and technology, is something that the hegemony has a lot of. So if you wish to appear mostly invisible here, you can. Unless they're specifically looking for you, you feel reasonably safe that you should be able to enter the ash belt and disappear in there, because once you're in there, it's almost impossible to track anything. It's just so much debris everywhere.
Well, that's something, but it won't last long. I'll immediately contact Pig. Pig, we might not have much time, you know, the usual. The Legion might shoot us or try and take the item from us. Who knows? We're so popular these days. Are you finding anything? We need to see if we can find this area of search quick.
And have I found anything down here? Anything that's been occurring, affecting the equipment through the portal jumps?
The Red Moon is in excellent shape. You and Suleiman have been taking fantastic care of the ship. Focusing in on the routines, that's been a source of stability, perhaps, in these turbulent times that you're living in. That and your meetings with the children of the song. Yes, so the ship is in great shape, and you see no traces of anything that might be off with it, no tracking devices or anything like that. You have full control of your ship. You are the master of the Red Moon.
Nah, she's fine. Everything is good here. Seems like nothing weird has happened throughout the jumps and stuff. But, okay, so what's the plan? A Legion cruiser?
We're going to try and avoid their attention as long as possible and do our best to find this so-called relic, which I really am hoping is here. Somewhere.
Aisha speaks up. Yes, Corel said that the survivors are on Masahir Station. We should be able to get a bit more of a precise location from them. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult to find one specific derelict ship in the middle of this ash belt. So our first stop should be the station. Get there, get the information, and then when we're ready, we head out into the ash belt, head to the destination, and then try to get away from here as soon as possible.
Wonderful, and I'm sure nothing bad will happen on this station. What do we know about this station they're on? What sort of station is it?
Well, it's run by the Vesti-Humanites and the Free League. They put it together using a bulk hauler and different pieces of ships that they've been able to pick up here. It's now the home of everyone who's scavenging in the ash belt, and there's thousands of people on the station, families even. They have, I understand, some special rules that they live by. It's kind of a society in of itself, but as long as we follow the rules, we should be relatively safe.
Could I perhaps use my culture skill to have some information on what some of those rules might be?
Absolutely. Do you want to roll for culture? You can do a straight roll.
1 success.
That's all you need. So the customs are called the Odas Vali, and what the main rules basically say are: be hospitable to those who honor the Odas Vali, never investigate or question someone's past, never negotiate unarmed, assist those in need of aid, in a conflict accept the will of fate, never break a contract honoring the Odas Vali, and show no mercy to those who dishonor the Odas Vali. So a lot of it is about the fact that this is a place to which people come who are either Odasonian and whose planets have been destroyed, who have been hankering by in various ways, many most likely not very legal. And as a result of that, you really shouldn't be trying to dig into people's backgrounds, who they are they criminals or not. You should be armed, and you should be prepared to defend yourself, and you should not allow anyone to break these rules, because these rules are the only thing that keeps this very, very fragile society together.
Remember, Pig, when we're there, lots of smiling, lots of being very, very polite. Luckily, we're out our weapons. But if these survivors need something, we might have to do it, or else the whole station will shoot us or something, I don't know.
Alright, we'll be nice and play friendly, be of service and all that. Now, do you want me to speed things up down here? I mean, that big hunk of junk is gonna take his time. Might as well get ahead.
Yes, please do. I'm at the helm. Let's dock into this station. I've got our identities sorted out already. Just some scavengers, you know the drill.
Alright, yeah, sure. I'm diverting power to now.
You head in to the ash belts, and the sensor buoys guide you through the darkness. The light of the dying Odacon star illuminating the scorched surface of Rusa was the last thing that you saw before the ash belt swallowed you. And as you follow these sensor buoys, you finally come to your destination. Your sensors suddenly light up as the ghostly shadows of the belt dissipate, the dark outlines of Maciej's station appearing before you. She's magnificent, constructed inside the dead shell of a bulk freighter and fitted with a long row of docking modules and a huge smeltery. Visitors dock under the floodlights of the hauling cranes or by the warm glow of the agridomes. Maciej is a station that welcomes all, as long as you abide by Odacon customs and are ready to feed the smeltery's enormous furnace with the twisted bones of the ships that met their end in the belt. And you see salvager, free trader, and corsair vessels that hang like clusters of ripe grapes on the station's long docking beams. And you also see the station's quite formidable defenses running along the hull like a thin line of thorns. Sensor arrays, torpedo tubes, and thermal cannons keeping the other factions and the worst of the corsairs at bay. On the way in, you see a ship bearing the markings of the Colonial Agency stopped a short way from the station, and you can overhear radio chatter with them trying to secure permission to dock for their delegation. The Free League and the Consortium are not exactly on the best terms right now, however, with the strike, and they're being kept waiting, most likely to humiliate them. But you, however, face no such problems. You are simply salvagers, and you have the fake identity that you need to have to be able to do what you've come to do. The docking clamps lock in, and you are now one with Maciej's station. Suleiman speaks.
Sahib, I'm interfacing with the station Jin Nyandra. It shares my programming. We are seemingly siblings. A reunion of sorts, it seems.
Well, that's wonderful, Suleiman. Have a nice chat. Just don't get too distracted, please. We need you scanning and active at all times, especially if that Legion ship, I don't know, starts firing on this station.
I understand, Sahib.
Pig, in your pocket is the beer tag that you're supposed to use to pay for the metal that Al-Halim asked for. The smeltery here has access to materials that are relatively rare in the Third Horizon, but here in Odacon, where debris from the First Horizon Armada can still be readily found, it is possible to come across metals not often found elsewhere. The auction house here is supposed to have it available. Al-Halim wasn't really clear on exactly what he needed it for, but the older man has a plan. And it is coming together, he has assured you of that.
Yeah. I'm not gonna make a big secret about this. I know Carlos' sentiments towards Al-Halim, but it's not like I've been sneaking around with things towards him. I don't want to do that. So I'll have kind of pre-warned him a little bit that there's some other stuff that I want to get done as well. Although it was kind of loose chatter. But now that we're actually getting closer, I see the whole place. It is a beauty, this station. What a piece of work. Yeah, so you see that over there? The auction house? That's where I'm going to have to to drop by to make sure I got, the other stuff sorted.
I groan a little and nod. Whatever, Pig, make it quick and just get your little cargo mission done. I don't have time to worry about what you get up to with the Syndicate. Again, we're allies of convenience for now, but one day you really should try and get yourself out of that. You go on and on about freedom, and yet you always run back to them.
It's not about freedom, man. I'm doing it because it's good money and it's stuff that actually, that I believe in. So, I'm not being forced by anyone. Not at this point.
We'll see. Whatever. And I just shake my head and say, in that case, I'll, while you're doing that, try to locate our dear people and have a little chat. Hopefully, none of us will be ambushed on the way to our respective areas. Ha! I give a laugh. It's very evident to Pig that my paranoia has been increasing more and more of late.
I, kind of just look at you for a bit and then I say, yeah, I get what you mean. It's been a lot. I'm not exactly feeling safe about anything right now, but it's kind of exciting too, isn't it? I mean, all this stuff that's happening, we're in the middle of it, and I think we got a big part to play out yet, man. You just keep hanging in there.
I try and offer Pig a smile, but I don't say anything in return. There was a time I found this sort of thing exciting. Of course there was. Back when it was just the Red Moon and the Captain and Pig, making a little money on the side. But the truth is, for some time I found none of this exciting. Things are too tense. There's too much at stake for not only my own family, but the whole horizon, and it doesn't give me excitement, it gives me dread. I want it all to be over. I want to just get back to being able to live my own life. But, again, that's neither here nor there, so I'll just smile and embark off the ship. I'm keen to find these survivors, have a chat, and then get off the station as soon as possible. Hopefully, while that all happens, Pig will have bought their cargo.
Pig, we do a quick cut back now to the night before you departed the Zhao system. You were with Aisha. She was praying to the machine icon in the ship's chapel while she is chanting the words that you remember from the children of the song, Kari Kanan, Ila Labad. I hear it. It's here too, isn't it? Or perhaps it's in us. She looks to you. Oh, sister, I'm so happy. We're not alone anymore. And she moves out to hold one of your hands.
I take her hand as well, and I smile. I feel genuinely happy that she has and keep sharing these moments with me. I really feel like a closeness to her, and it feels strong. I try to listen too as she says it. I'm not expecting anything. Maybe it's just being part of all the group and everything that I feel like I hear something, but I want to listen out too to see if I hear the song.
If you do try to hear it, then there is something out there, faint still, but it is growing louder. Every time you listen for it, it grows just that little bit louder. You and me and the other children, sister, we're loved. We are love. She smiles a smile that is just radiant. This is all going to turn out all right. And one of your tiny friend bots come floating up to you, as though you were in 0G, but you're not. And you see her moving her free hand as though she was controlling it. The machine icon, it sings that it's a gift. What I have, it's a gift given to those chosen by it. It's a gift we should use. It's not dangerous, it's just different. Some people are just too small-minded to get that. But that's fine. They just don't know any better. They'll get it eventually. Change takes time.
I won't let them hurt you or have to make up their minds too quickly. We'll show them what you can do and what you can provide. I believe in it too. I want to... I wish I could understand it more. I feel like just being around you and your friends, it's just... I feel it somehow. It's like almost, I guess, like an echo of what you're doing.
If you keep listening, maybe the machine icon can teach you too. We can share this gift together. Make it our little secret. And maybe one day it doesn't have to be a secret. Maybe it can be something that we share with everyone. Share our love, right?
You think? I mean, I'm a coghead. I'm very practical. I feel like what you're doing is very touchy-feely. Do you really think I can make that kind of contact?
You're the most beautiful soul I've ever met, sister. Of course you can. And she smiles and she touches your cheek.
I have to bite my teeth together and I strain my cheeks a little bit. My impulse is to look away, but I look at her and I feel like something is welling up inside of me. And I can't say anything. I just nod and look at her.
And in the corner of your eyes, you notice the boy looking in from the door to the chapel, then quickly disappearing. You've been spending more and more time with Aisha, haven't you? How has he taken that?
Yeah. I see that, and I feel a bit of a groan inside of me. It's odd. I mean, I brought him along to... I don't even know what I was thinking. I guess I wanted to be something for him that no one really was for me. Maybe I need to... Maybe I'm being selfish, but he should understand, and he's got... Maybe he needs a friend his own age. Oh, I'm being stupid. I'm not good at this. I turn to her. What do you think I should... What do you think I should do with Doomlord? I feel like maybe I'm neglecting him. Maybe he needs friends. I don't know.
And she looks to you and she smiles and says, "Yes, perhaps you're right. Perhaps he needs a true place to call home. We try our best, right? But it is a very dangerous place. But it is for you to decide. I'll be here to support you either way, sister. I love him too, and I want us to be together."
It feels good that you say that. Yeah, he's a wonderful little guy. Maybe we should try and make him, get him to, I don't know, meet some people on Kua. That's the best I can think of. When we get back, I mean, there must be kids, right? I mean, you were a kid once. Carlo, their families, would they discard him? Maybe it's someone that would be a bit more open-minded.
She nods and smiles to you. And we cut back to the present. And she's standing before you and she's holding your hand. It's a very different feeling now, though. She puts her hand on your forehead and you can feel darkness. And she looks at you with a very serious face. You can feel it, right?
Yeah. It's there. It's looming. Like all around us. What do you think it comes from?
It's out there in the belt. The thing that Coriolis was talking about. I think it's maybe what we're looking for. Whatever it is, we have to be very careful. Be careful, sister.
I nod. And you.
She smiles. And you reach inside the station. The docking bay has opened, and you are now inside Maciej station. And as soon as you come in, what both of you can feel is there's a kind of pressure. There's like this feeling that things are different in here. Like an oppressive feeling, like the walls are coming closer in. It's immediately not a good feeling. You almost want to turn around and head back into the Red Moon. But you don't, right?
No, there's no time. We're not here to make friends and hang out or live here. We're here to do one thing and get out of here quickly. I don't like this feeling. And I will hurry along as best I can.
What of you, Pig?
At this point, no. We just gotta see that we do this. And it's a good thing we've got Aisha with us too. She's gonna help us feel if anything bad is coming our way. And then she can guide us too. If we need to get out there, if we need to find whatever it is that's looking at us, if that's what we're looking for too, then we gotta face that. We gotta get this done.
Yes. Would you like Aisha and the boy to join you on the station, or would you like them to remain on board the ship?
Personally, I think if Aisha can be there, she's handling the sensors, and she's only also a kind of point of communications for us. I'd prefer to be on there unless she wants to go and investigate and look for more.
I'm always in favour of her staying on the ship. I don't see any reason why the boy and her are needed for a quick chat and a trade, especially on a station like this.
Indeed.
Yeah, well, I'm bringing Doomlord. He's unless I'm gonna ask him. Listen, it's you could either stay here and you make sure the engines are fine and we get ready if we need to make a quick exit, or you just you come with. I've got some business I need to run. It's always good to have you around, but.
Oh, he perks up at that and seems immediately very interested in joining you, if you're okay with that. So far, he's had to stay on the ship, so... Well, he's a boy. He wants to go on adventures, right?
I roll my eyes and say, at the end of the day, Pig, when it comes to the boy, I can't control the boy or you. The fact that he still hangs around on special missions like this, I don't understand, but you have your ways, whatever.
You gotta see the world. You gotta see the whole horizon. A place like this might be once in a lifetime.
This place is I lean in very quietly. A dump in a wasteland of space.
What are you talking about? It's the magnificent... Do you see how they melded things together over here? The cannons there? That should be practically impossible, making them to still give that kind of leverage and the momentum that they're gonna need to swing around if they're gonna look for other targets.
You know, Pig, maybe you're right. Maybe we should have the entire hegemony say, stop making, single guns and cannons that are designed to fit on the ship. Just put whatever you can find next to the other thing. I acknowledge it's a miracle the place is still standing, and I don't pretend it's not formidable, but it's not... Yes, Pig, I'm sorry, Pig. Remember, I'm not a gearhead, as you put it. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Thanks, Carlo. Alright, well, let's get going, Doomlord. We got a little deal to cut.
He nods excitedly and follows you, and you are welcomed aboard Maciej Station by an armed Night Hands patrol, the station's security force, and also the Free League's armed branch. They're wearing fur-lined black battle exos and are armed with grape rifles and shock gloves. Ship name? Which name have you gone with here? Are you going to go with the Red Moon out of Dabaran, or do you have a different one in mind?
Let's go with the Yellow Crescent from Dabaran.
Of course, then that's the identity that you have. Yellow Crescent out of Dabaran. Alright, well, you stick to the trade district and the spaceport. All other areas are off limits to visitors. You honor the Odaconian customs improper behavior will earn you a speedy exit through the nearest airlock. He says, trying to look intimidating. And he is a little bit intimidating. I mean, these black bad Lexos, grape rifles, shock gloves, they look pretty hardcore. Then again, you've also met a lot of hardcore people over your journeys through the horizon.
I have. There's no need to cause a scene. I politely bow, give a roguish smile, and say, of course, while I'm here, I hope I can aid you and the Order however I can. It's important to honor such things in these parts of space, isn't it?
It is everything that we have. He smiles. He nods to another one of the night hands. Jakob here, he's going to just show you the main places of interest, and then you can head off on your business, all right?
Many thanks.
Welcome to Maciej.
Thank you.
You are led then through this central corridor in the spaceport here, and as you get further into the station, you feel this oppressive feeling growing stronger. It's manageable, it's just not a great feeling. The man who's with you, Jakob, he seemingly notices this. Don't worry, you'll get used to it. It's something with the ash belt, I reckon. Icons know what kind of chemicals we're exposed to on the regular here, he shrugs. But, we're all gonna die sometime, right? Pay here, it's decent, a lot of opportunities. I think you will find it's worth it.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it's not gonna kill us right away. I mean, you seem to have been doing well out here. I'm impressed by the craftsmanship.
I'm very happy to hear that. I think the Vesti have done an amazing job, and we try to do what we can from the Free League side as well to keep this place running. It's a home to a lot of people, and there's a lot of good resources out there in the Ash Belt. A lot of it that we can put to better use in making this horizon better, huh?
Yeah, we hope to find and provide.
That's what I like to hear. And you come to two huge chambers that are supported by row upon row of Dura pillars in gold and white. It's actually quite elegant. It's clearly meant to impress. Bright strings of lights high above produce stark shadows down on the ground. The first chamber that you come to here is full to the brim with bars of different metals stacked high inside bio-coated grav nets, making them surprisingly easy to transport after being purchased. It looks like the auction day peg is tomorrow. The second chamber here contains the vast souk of the founders, where partitions mounted between the pillars create a confusing maze of narrow streets and alleys. Everything from Ashbelt artifacts, ancient furniture excavated from the planet Cana, hot meals. There's even some cattle, exotic pets, and narcotics that can be found here. It's like a mini Coriolis, really, in some ways. Corridors high above the bustling streets lead to the many residential units and coffin hotels that offer cheap accommodations to both temporary and long-term guests. Following on through here, there's a large gate that reaches what used to be the bulk hauler's mess hall. Now this has been turned into a large cantina, the Warda Al-Nuji cantina. Jakub nods to you and says, that'll be a pretty good place for you to start out making contacts. Everyone goes to Warda Al-Nuji at some point.
Noted. Thank you, Jacob.
Points out that there's tunnels underneath the cantina that house the so-called tech caves, which is a specialized market for tech merchants and engineers. Probably a good place to find some stuff for your ship if you need it, or perhaps even some weapons. You see also, as you're walking around here, that there's a lot of people milling around. It's, as I said, it's quite similar to Coriolis in that sense, only that the people that you see here, a lot of them are of course less well-dressed. There's not a lot of fancy rich people that you see necessarily. It's a lot of people who seem to be either working on the station, many of whom are humanites, or scavengers that are operating out of the station, and many of them seemingly living here with their children even, and kind of trying to live as normal lives as is possible in an environment that must be quite dangerous, actually. Here and there you also come across small gangs of kids running around, likely left on the station while the adults are out scavenging in the ash belt.
Say, Jakob, if something goes down, like a ship is, I don't know, comes under attack by corsairs or has a breakdown, is there like a medical area people get taken to, or a salvage yard like that? Where do people like that go if they survive bad incidents?
We have a well-stocked infirmary, actually. 2 Medicurgs even, twin brothers that run the place.
I smile and nod. Internally, do I think that's a good place to start if we're looking for these survivors?
It just might be. I mean, what you heard was that they were being treated for these black spots and things that they had picked up, kind of similar to hypersickness. So it sounds quite likely that if they're still here, that they would be located in the infirmary, yes. Jakub also points out that there is an arboretum as well on Maciej station.
Oh, that's nice.
I hear they have all kinds of orchids and flowers from the system. Things that were possible to save before, well, everything was destroyed. In case you're interested in that stuff, it's a nice place to relax a little bit. If you want to see other things than metal and ash.
Oh yeah, we should see if we can get some seeds for some plants for our own arboretum. Maybe stuff that we haven't been able to get before. That's a good idea.
I smile and nod, having no interest in this actually, but for the sake of appearances, yes, that would be a good idea. Whatever we can get, you know how our life is.
Well, anyways, thanks, Jakov. So, this Wadal newbie place, I look over to Carlo. Wanna go and see if there's anyone to talk to? Maybe grab something to drink?
Sure, good place to scout out some work.
You follow the customs and you'll be fine. You seem like nice people. I hope you'll have a good stay here.
We will accept what destiny brings us and try and be of service.
He nods seriously. That's good. Very good. And he leaves you to your own devices, and you now have the opportunity to decide where you would like to go.
Well, now we're alone. I reckon it's time for me to check out the infirmary. If you want, I suppose, where would you be heading? The trade hall for your little deal?
Yeah, well, that's the auction house, but it's not auction day today. It's going to be, well, tomorrow. So for the day, I guess we could focus on the mission. I'm keen to see if there's any more scrap parts that we can get. Since we dismantled our salvage dock, we just don't have that much, things in case we need to make repairs.
I let out an audible sigh at the mention of tomorrow, but then I just nod. Wonderful, fine, I suppose we'll have to spend a day here. That's not ideal, pig, but the sacrifices I make for you are many, and I'm happy to make every one. I smile. Slightly.
Yeah, well, you know how I reciprocate, you innocent bastard.
Damn straight you do. Alright, well, if you were to come with me to the infirmary now, let's do that. Then afterwards, I suppose we can go to this arboretum and you can pick up some plants for the garden. I love gardening so very much.
Oh yeah, I know you do. I know, it's just for you that I'm doing it. Exactly. So, and I just wink to the little boy.
I give the boy a nod. Again, the boy, always here. I'm quite used to him. I still don't like him, and I don't know why Pig keeps him around. But, well, he does at least do some chores on the ship, I suppose. Right, boy, you know the drill. Just try not to get killed and do everything Pig and I say.
He does a little salute.
Good. Alright, let's go to the infirmary first, then.
To the infirmary, then, is where you start. It's a fairly cramped place. There's a small humidifier and scent maker that keeps pumping out a sickly sweet-smelling mist to cover what is likely rather unpleasant bodily odors in here. It's, as was stated, run by twin brothers, Roddy and Samir, both Medicurgs and wearing identical Medicurg outfits. It's Roddy that comes up to meet you as you approach the infirmary. Yes, how can we help you?
Sorry to bother, but we're a little concerned. We have a... It's a little bit of a business thing, actually, but a contact of ours. The Dream Horizon. We were supposed to meet here for a deal, but we have heard nothing from them, and then I heard from some people in the cantina that something happened, and some of them are here. Sorry, do you know what I'm on about?
Patient privacy is very important to us. You must understand. And you hear Samir speaking up from another part of the room. Yes, you must understand. This is, Carlo, a situation where you're going to have to do a little bit better than that. You have to give them some kind of reason here. And you are used to dealing with people. How are you going to try and manipulate this person into getting you a meeting with these survivors from the Dream Horizon?
Well, it's a vital part of the meeting in question involves family members. Not me, of course, but some family members, and they'd be very concerned if someone was in hospital. Again, I'm just here to make sure they're okay. I don't, obviously if they don't want visitors, they don't want visitors, but surely they'd like someone to know that they're not dead.
I will also point out that you do have your fame also, if you would like to use that. They probably saw the bulletin broadcast.
We shall use my fame. I'll lead in very quietly and say that some of the family are quite important people who are friends of mine.
And he kind of leans in and his eyes narrow a little bit, looking at your face. You aren't... I know that... I know your face. Are you the heroes from Uharu?
Maybe, don't tell anyone. And I smile and put a finger to my lips.
I have had my two lower arms kind of hidden until now, but then I kind of just take them out and wiggle my fingers a little bit like, ooh, yeah, recognize these?
You can do a manipulate +2.
Loads of 5s.
You want to pray to the icons?
Yes, I do. I need this to go smoothly. I need one of those icons to help me out. So let's try a re-roll for 1 darkness point. 1 success.
Then he nods understandingly. Of course. I mean, anything to help the heroes of Uharu. I would love to pick your brains about what happened there. It seems to have been such an adventure. But you have important business to take care of. And we shan't stand in the way of that. Shall we, Samir? No, we shall not. And they do actually allow you to meet the survivor from the Dream Horizon that they still have here. They had 2. Now they have 1. Yusuf. You're led to a bed where there's a gaunt man who's lying down on this. His left arm is gone and his right leg has been cut off just above the knee. He looks absolutely miserable. Roddy comments, we had to take them before the sickness consumed him. Dark spots growing larger and larger. Something from, well, you know where. Corruption, he says. Corruption, Samir says.
Is he better now? Is there still something in his system? What's your medical prognosis?
He's gonna survive. But, I think he's dealing with quite a lot of nightmares. Depression. I mean, the entire crew were... Well, as I understand it, they killed each other.
You don't say. How morbid.
Yeah. I look at Carlo, remembering myself. The madness that seemed to have overtaken the... Well, what was it? Was it the Legionnaires? That cabin that we went into with all these people dead?
Yes, it was. The stasis module that you found floating out in space. That's true.
That's right.
It was something quite similar, perhaps, that had occurred to those poor people there. Well, Yusuf, he has noticed that you're here, and he looks up at his guests, seemingly waiting for some kind of introduction or question.
Hello, Yusuf. You don't know us. We don't really know you. But fate has conspired to bring us together. So even though it may sound hollow, and I imagine the answer isn't simple, are you at least holding up for the moment?
He tries to sit up a little bit. It doesn't go too well, but he's kind of resting on one arm. I try. It's tough to deal with everything that we went through. Losing the entire crew like that. At least me and Anna got through it. Do you know where she is, by the way? I've asked Roddy and Samir, and they tell me that she's been released. She got through this a lot better than I did. You haven't spoken to her, have you?
Unfortunately not. We came to you first.
Yeah, I mean, we've been told that about the places where people might go for sociable situation. I don't know, is she, is she holding up okay then? She's not likely to have just skipped out of Dodge.
Oh, she was in great shape, Roddy says. Yeah, surprisingly so. I think we did quite a good job, Roddy. Yes, Samir, I agree. We did a very good job. And both the medic-hergs nod and look very, very, very pleased with themselves.
I smile and I lean in and I say, well, that's good, isn't it, Yusuf? But maybe we can find out for you. We might be here for longer than I wanted. We can do a favor for a favor. That's not so bad, is it?
No, that's good. What do you want to know?
Oh, nothing too big or major. I lower my voice a little. Just, where did your ship run into trouble? Exactly.
And he looks to you with fear in his eyes. I want to help you, I really do, but only darkness awaits those that seek. This battleship, this warped Abfasid. I don't want to be responsible for leading more people to their deaths. Not after losing everyone. Johar, Saladin, Amina, they're all dead because of that.
Well, listen, I understand perfectly what you're on about. The doctors here, they recognized us from surviving a certain event that happened a cycle back actually. Still doesn't feel that way. Where we seen things, and we want to make sure, that they don't happen to anyone else. And we're gonna make sure Icon's willing. And that's why you'll want to point us in the right direction, you see. Because if anyone can do it, it's the heroes of Oharu.
Exactly, and we're willing to give you some financial compensation. I imagine you're going to be in a bit of trouble now, your current situation, and that's not fair. So we're happy to help that. And just a reminder as well that I lean in. A lot of people are going to be asking questions, and they're not all going to be good people. You understand? We would like to just make sure that whatever happened, as you said, doesn't happen to anyone else. That was a good thing, you're right. It's a terrible thing to have that happen to anyone else. We'd like to make sure that happens. But we can only do it if we can know where it is.
You seem like really good people, and I'm really glad that you try to prevent others from going there. I really want to help you, but I just couldn't live with your lives on my conscience. I'm sure you're very capable, but I'm really sorry. I'm sorry. I can't send anyone else to their deaths.
I look with a kind of... I give Carlo a flat look. Well, there's one other person we can talk to that got out a little better.
I certainly seem a little impatient for a moment, but then I look at Pig, and I look at the witnesses in the area, 2 doctors after all, and I just sigh. Of course, Yusef, you just rest up then. Fair enough. And I'll make to stand, and I'll mutter to Pig. Hopefully, at least the other one, we can meet somewhere where there aren't so many witnesses.
I look at you like contemplating, not really understanding for a second, and then oh yeah, right. Well, you understand. I turn back to him. If that's too much to bear, then you get well and have a think about it, because we could actually do some good here if we prevent others. Like, we could prevent a further, bigger calamity. So, by sending us on the way, just think about it, okay?
Okay, I'll think about it. Thank you again for visiting, and Give my best to Anna if you see her.
We'll do our best. Thank you, doctors. You have been extremely helpful.
Both Roddy and Samir nod approvingly and knowingly. Heroes of War, you're gonna solve this.
And as we exit the infirmary, I'll just sigh again. Well, we have one more lead, but why does everything always have to be so roundabout? Oh, I can't tell you this, I can't tell you that. I was gonna give him an awful lot of money. How ungrateful.
Oh, yeah. That's so weird. He's just... I guess because he got so messed up. Maybe he's a bit of a coward, you know? Maybe that's why the other person is not coming back to see him anymore. This Anna. So,
Or maybe she's the one who killed everybody.
And she feels guilty?
Maybe I would, wouldn't you? This will be tricky fighting this Anna, but hopefully if we do, we can talk to her a little more privately and we can get our information which we need. Otherwise, we're going to miss out on this opportunity, for good or bad.
Yeah, I guess. But, yeah, to find her though, I mean, she should have been making a little bit of noise considering people know what happened. What do you think about going to this bar place? Was it Wada Al-Nubi something?
Sure. Yes. Get the gossip. Maybe I can find a terminal and see if she's still on a passenger list. I assume these people keep some tabs on who's on and off the station.
Yeah, at this point... You know, it would have been kind of good to have your sister here. Maybe she'd feel some kind of energy with this person that's been exposed to all that and could trace it to another one.
Maybe, or maybe she'd pick up whatever bad energy he has and it would affect her. I lower my voice. Mystic condition is still very, very unknown, and I don't like her dabbling in things that aren't explainable.
Yeah, oh yeah, well, it's a gift still, you know.
To a point. Again, I'm fully fine with you and her spending all your time praying in the chapel, but you need to keep an eye on her for me. That's part of the deal of you courting my sister. Make sure she's not getting anything stupid again, like she did with the captain. Joining random organizations.
I cross both my arms, kind of defiantly, and I say, oh, she's perfectly capable of making sound decisions. It's just, She's, you know, not like you make all the sane choices all the time, man.
No, that's true. But good then, if you're telling me she's just praying to the icons as normal. Some of the stuff you hear at the moment is troubling.
Yeah, yep, that's it. We're praying to the icons, and I believe that's gonna be good for our mission. Yeah.
Sure.
That's all.
That'll be a turn up for the books, the icons actually helping people.
You have little faith.
I have plenty of faith, Pig. I'm just not naive like you occasionally are. Especially during times where literal beings are walking around saying they're icons and gods and mind-controlling people. Something for you to remember as well.
I shrug, and kind of just nod towards the way that Jacob indicated that this social place would be.
And I'll nod, deep down being satisfied, because Pig would let me know if there was something up in that area, and good. Pig, at least, while I think they're naive sometimes, has a sound head. They wouldn't just blindly follow something for religious reasons. At least I don't think they would. Sometimes they're a bit hard to read. But in this case, good. I was a little worried about Aisha and them hanging out all the time in the chapel. I was hoping it was just courtship stuff, and it just is, which is good.
Yes, and you begin making your way towards the Wad al-Nurji cantina, and you do some quick checks around just to see if anyone's seen Anna. And what you learn is that no one has seen Anna for the last 3 days. She's disappeared. Seemingly. But how do you disappear off of a space station that is, while large, not that large? It is a mystery. You have listened to an episode of Red Moon Roleplaying, where we play the campaign Mercy of the Icons for Coriolis, which is published by Free League. In this third part, we are taking on The Last Cyclade. The music was created by Alpha Zone and Sabled Sun, and was used with permission from their label Cryochamber. Please check out cryochamber.bandcamp.com or their YouTube channel for more of their lovely dark ambient. We also used the official Coriolis soundtrack by Stars on the Black Sea. We'd like to give massive thanks to our champions of the Red Moon: Martin Heuschober, Simon Cooper, David, Julia, Camilla, Bob Lange, Cameron, Graham Barey, Doug Thomson, Lily, Mike Parker, Maciej, and Black Templar for their generous support. And we'd of course also like to thank all of our other patrons. Without your support, this show would not be possible. If you want to support our work, please check us out on Patreon. You can get access to bonus campaigns for Cult of Divinity Lost, Call of Cthulhu, and Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay there, and you can also get early and raw access to all of our recordings and hear your name read on the show as a champion of the Red Moon, as well as play some Cult with us. Most importantly, that support is what keeps the show going, so do check us out there. Thank you again for listening, and remember that Uhaya has traversed the darkness to guide us.